Channel 5 su Andrew Callahan, jo kanalą mes žiūrėjom, daug žiūrėjom, ypač kai jis darydavo video reguliariai, ne dabar, kur daro ten kartą per 100 metų, jo prieš 9 mėnesius paskutinis video, bet jo, išgarsėjo jo kanalas su All Gas No Brakes video. Tai dabar, vat, nesenai, prieš porą savaičių, nesenai, aš biškį vėluoju, išleido video Q Shaman Comes Home. Mes iš tikrųjų žiūrėjom dar ir su juo Q Family žiūrėjom tą video, kai buvo, ir dar buvo interviu, man atrodo, su tokiu šamanu prieš tai, kai jis sodino, aš net nepamenu, nes turėjau reaktą, man atrodo, ir jį, bet kaip būtų tas Q Šamanas, ten kur prie kompų sėdėjo, dabar, kaip suprantu, Q Šamanas grįžo namo. Tai pažiūrim šitą, man įdomu.
As it says right behind me, freedom is not free. So don't forget that. Freedom is not free. Remember the Constitution and remember our rights. Kelly J. Patriot, Channel 5 Live. What's this? Oh, I think this one's a 357 hollow point. And now we're going to talk a little gun safety here. So, first of all, make sure the gun is empty. Bullets are out. We got 6 right here. Don't point it at somebody unless you're going to fire it. And don't shoot unless you intend to kill or protect somebody that you need to. God bless America. Once again, Kelly J. 2A. My fingers are messed up, kind of like that. Kelly J. 2A. God bless America. Second Amendment.
After 6 months on hiatus, alone in the Mojave Desert, I got a call from an old friend.
Hey, Andrew, this is Kelly. Hope you're doing well.
Kelly J. Patriot, Saddam's cousin from Orange County.
Kelly, you know what's up?
He told me he had a huge surprise for me, but wouldn't tell me what. All he said was get to the Arizona State Capitol immediately.
Pull around, go under the 2 big flags.
I met him at the Freedom Isn't Free gazebo, and he told me that I must start by getting a zoom-in shot of the American flag.
All right, Kelly, I'm zooming in.
These men died for us. God bless America. Whoop, whoop, they're flying everywhere.
At first, I was a bit disappointed. I thought that he broke my isolation just to show me his gun. But then I heard a bellowing screech about 50 yards away.
Oh no.
I could hardly believe it. Freedom! There he was, Jacob Chansley, aka the QAnon Shaman.
Jacob Chansley, known as the QAnon Shaman, has been released from prison.
Fresh out the federal slammer after spending 41 months in solitary confinement for his role in the January 6th Capitol riot. Since his release, he's yet to talk to the media, but for some reason, he wanted to talk to me.
Hi.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing all right.
But under one condition. He said that before our interview, he'd like to perform a shamanic hymn he wrote behind bars, a war song, commemorating his victory against the deep state.
Koks victory? Čia produced jau garsas. Ar jie visi brain damaged? Nu bendrai, jeigu tu QAnon nutiki, tu actually esi brain damaged, never mind. Palangos indienai geriau varydavo.
How's it going?
My grandmother just told me, on my father's side, my grandmother told me that we have Cheyenne blood running through our veins, and she said one of my ancestors was actually one of the few survivors of the Trail of Tears.
How does that make you feel?
Very proud of my heritage. Typically, Native Americans wear headdresses where they have to earn all the feathers. This is not something that I was given by a Native American tribe or anything like that, but I do certainly believe over the course of my 10-year shamanic journey, I've earned my feathers.
What are your top feather earning moments, you think?
Oh man, 6.5 years of working with kids, troubled teen boys in group homes. Times where I went out to the desert and damn near died going on a vision quest. Going through everything I went through over the last 2.5 years, solitary confinement and all that stuff. All the spiritual battles I've won in the ether and the astral realm against demonic forces, and now
Jesus Christ. Jis yra geras, kaip čia pavyzdys, kodėl nereikia narkotikų vartoti.
Yielding, not giving in to fear.
Freedom!
For sure. Anything else you want to say?
For sure.
Transgenderism, which Baphomet is androgynous, and Satanism are kind of paired together. It's a globalist movement to create a Luciferian or satanic new world order. And it's really unfortunate because there's a lot of good transgender people out there.
Na, tipo, nereikėjo tikėtis, kad ilgai bus, kol jie apie trans nepradės šnekėti. Nu, tipo, nes svarbiausia tema jiems.
I have a lot of friends who are transgender, and all they want to do is blend in. They don't want to stand out and force society to bend to their will. They just want to blend in. There's something called the Corporate Equity Index at CEI.
HRC's Corporate Equality Index rates workplaces on their commitment to policies and benefits for LGBTQ workers.
I'm proud that today it was announced that Walmart scored 100 on the CEI for the 5th consecutive year.
Okay, look at this. They got some gay pride swim trunks at Walmart.
The CEI has served as the bar of accountability when there was no bar at all.
And basically what it is these organizations, these globalist organizations, Target, withholding investments from companies that don't have basically the woke credit score. If they don't have their woke credit score up high enough, or if they don't have one at all, then they'll send the woke mob after them. Did you get everything you needed?
Yeah, I just wanted a picture.
Okay.
Thanks!
These are the symbols for the planets. These are pyramids with vortexes above them. We got the sun and the moon here. Viking runes, because from what I've heard from family, I have Viking ancestry, as well as Native American Cheyenne blood running through my veins.
Is that something you can like feel?
Oh yeah. This idea of whiteness, it's just so racist. I happen to have Cheyenne blood running through my veins, so please tell me more about how it is wearing something my ancestors wore for quite some time is an insult to my heritage.
Chunky.
Tell me more about that.
What's up with the wrist tattoos?
I got these here after a heartless wretch broke my heart and cheated on me, and so I got these as a means of reminding myself to never allow a woman to treat me that way, and also to deal with the emotional, mental pain of that. So a lot of my tattoos are done, they're earned. These I got after my dad committed suicide. Once again, it took 36 hours for these to be done, so it was a dealing with mental and emotional pain through the physical pain, coming through it and healing.
Do you still support Trump?
Yeah. It's not Trump's fault that I or anybody else went into that building. Why should he bail us out? Why should he get blamed for the actions of free citizens?
And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Do I feel like he could have done more? I mean, he could have done something like started a lawyer fund for all the J6ers and donated a large sum of money to kind of set a trend. But as far as like pardons, as funny as it may sound, there's only so much power that the president has.
In the final hours of his presidency, President Trump granted clemency to more than 140 people.
Pompano Beach rapper Kodak Black, whose real name is Bill Capri, his sentence was commuted.
Do you feel that your time in prison changed your belief systems at all?
Like, regarding politics?
Yeah.
No. If anything, it just reinforced the notion that
Kai esi echo chamberį, kas prisimena dar mūsų skaitytą straipsnį skirtumą tarp echo chamberį ir episteminių burbulų. Kai esi echo chamberį, jeigu kažkas tik sustiprina, jeigu kažkas atsitinka ar panašiai, tik sustiprina tavo įsitikinimą, tavo teisumu. Tipo, jie visi korumpuoti, tai dėl to mane pasodino ir tipo, tu aišku nepakeisi savo, kaip tik sustiprės.
The government has corruption at some of the highest levels and that needs to change.
Hey guys, it's Andrew Callahan. We're here now in Scottsdale, Arizona. Last time we were here in hot Scottsdale,
Jis panašiai biškai Jesse Pinkman.
Arizona was to cover the satanic temple gathering.
Scottsdale, baby! Get a baby!
Hail Satan!
Right now, we're here for quite the opposite. I'm standing in front of a church here, where inside, Jacob Chansley, aka QAnon Shaman, is having his first ever welcome home party. So let's go inside and figure out what's going on. Come on, guys.
much for showing up. It is truly an honor and a pleasure to shake your hands and give you all hugs and to see your faces again. I remember a lot of you, and the last time I saw many of you, I was waving goodbye and saying, "See you in a couple days." Solitary confinement sucks. It was the hardest time in my life. I didn't want to be alive anymore, but I also didn't want to die. So I'd like to start this speech by thanking God for protection.
Right now, this is Jake Anderson.
I survived the GRT pandemic, pedo deflection, election scamdemic. What would I don't know, George, I don't know.
Jacob Chansley, the shaman, America's shaman. This is his first public appearance since he's been released from prison and from the halfway house. What he's been through and what he went through, legally, it just, I mean, I did civil litigation, not criminal, but just what he went through for what he did, especially, once they released that video of basically them inviting him into the Capitol, escorting him around, 8 or 9, cops at points in time, and he says a prayer in the Capitol. They ask him to leave, he leaves, and he thanks the blue, and he gets these crazy charges. So they made an example out of him, and he basically was forced to fall on the sword for all of us who were there on January 6th and all of us who support freedom and just simply wanted to know the truth about the election. Not deserved.
But he's really a symbol of political prisoners. He's a symbol for everyone else that's being abused by this government. His outfit made him stand out that day, and that's why he became a target.
They wanted to make out like all Trump supporters, we got us wearing the horns, we're lunatics, we're crazy, but when you listen to him and see, he never struck anybody, he never threw anything down, never broke anything, and he was arrested for really no reason.
My son and I were on January 6th, we were at the Columbus doors on the Senate side. This is as close to the inside of the Capitol that we got. He was given 4 months incarceration. Has anybody ever heard of a Black Lives
Jacob Chansley, čia taip papasakoma įdomu, kokie buvo jo kaltinimai. Spear carrying January 6 rioter whose horned forehead, bare chest and face paint made him one of the most recognizable figures in the assault on the Capitol was sentenced. Chansley, who pleaded guilty to a felony charge of obstruction an official proceeding, was among the first rioters to enter the building. He has acknowledged using a bullhorn to rile up the mob, offering thanks in a prayer while in the Senate for having the chance to get rid of traitors and scratching out a threatening note to Vice President Mike Pence, saying it's only a matter of time, justice is coming. Though he isn't accused of violence, prosecutors say Chansley of Arizona was the public face of the Capitol riot, who went into the attack with a weapon, ignored repeated police orders to leave the building, and gloated about his actions in the days immediately after the attack. I have no excuses, Chansley said. No excuses whatsoever. My behavior is indefensible. Okay, tai nebuvo taip, kad jis ten išėjo, kaip paprašė. Anyway.
Antifa actually being arrested and convicted. No, it's always been the conservatives.
Jacob Chansley pled guilty in federal court this week for his role in the Capitol riot.
He's an American hero.
So are you.
I'm just doing what I can.
Kobe Bryant was assassinated by the Quins. Don't tread on me. Don't even think about it.
Freedom! Jake, yeah, woo!
Aš nekenčiu visų šitų žmonių. Normalu, aš tiesiog jų nekenčiu visų.
We were in prison together at the same time. Dude, if he's a terrorist, I'm a terrorist too. And you know what? If this is terrorism, make the most of it. If standing up for the rights and standing up for our children is terrorism, make the most of it. And you know what? This is the first time I've ever publicly said this in front of cameras or anything. Dave Griswold is the self-professed owner-operator of Midnight Productions. Midnight Productions is the syndicate right here in Maricopa County that has been murdering children live on film on the dark web. The child snuff film industry is a very real thing. And when it comes to humans, what Jake is speaking about with QAnon, these are people who are trying to use maybe exaggerations to tell the truth about evil people.
Bro, I came here for the pulled pork. I don't know. Look at that.
Jis yra Uncle Pill raperis.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, no, it's crazy, but it's cool.
It's hot. I never leave the house without a fully loaded quick day. Aiming at an SA, SK, HK. Police get distracted from my motherfucking AK. It's payday. Don't have my money, get the fuck up out my way.
Gerai, čia man vaibas iš karto buvo esma rapo. Taip pat kamera judina, tik ten biškai agresyvesnė daina. Kai, blėt, rasiu tiesiog asma rapį vedęs. Pala, kaip aš parašiau asma? Šitaip? Jo. Aš negaliu. Asma rapas tiesiog, kur tą oro trukti pradeda tiesiog klausant jų gerai. Man čia toks pat vaibas buvo grinai.
Get distracted from my motherfucking AK. It's payday. Don't have my money, get the fuck up out my way.
Yeah. Are you allowed to talk about January 6th at all? Well, I have a motion in the courts right now, and that my attorney has advised me stay away from all things January 6th until this motion has worked its way through the court.
While Jake isn't technically allowed to talk about January 6th, he gave his A1 Day 1 best friend Chadwick full permission to share each and every detail from that day.
My name's Chadwick. I'm close friends with Jake. You know, we went up there and back together to DC and back. Him and I made that decision if we were going to go there or not, you know, about a week or two prior.
He also decided to give me access to a hard drive the FBI has been looking for 2.5 years.
Top secret.
Which features footage of rioters raiding Nancy Pelosi's office.
Who has a knife? Scissors. Look for scissors and knife. I've got a letter opener. Open this up. I need some. Right there, scissors.
What are we doing?
We're gonna open this up looking for intel. Emergency escape hood. It says emergency escape hood.
Within a few minutes, they located a congressman's escape hood, as well as a map of evacuation routes, which would have led rioters to underground tunnels, where congressmen had been led by the Capitol Police to hide.
Interesting.
Chadwick realized what was going on, so decided to step in.
Guys, it's over. Come on. It's over. Come on. Let's go. Come on.
I'm there for my channel to get great documentation of this day of who knows what's going to happen. And I did see from where I could people doing terrible things. You know, there was violent people. Let's not, you know, we have to be honest.
This is your country. If you have a weapon to defend yourself in your country, you need to get it. This is not a peaceful protest.
Oh, no.
So how would you describe Jake's role on the 6th?
Oh man, Jake's role on the 6th, I would say, was a type of like just protector or maybe like voice amplifier.
Freedom!
What we were doing there in DC, we had been doing in Arizona.
5 months before January 6th, Chad and Jake entered the Arizona state.
Kaip yra pavojinga tikėti šūdais, kaip yra pavojinga tikėti tiesiog. Blet. Visur, kur tik tu pamatai tikėjimą. Jononų, dievų, religija kažkokia, kitokia. Kur tik pamatai tikėjimą. Konfliktų rezoliucija tampa smurtas. Niekaip kitaip. Nes tu niekaip kitaip negali išspręsti jokio konflikto, nes tu tiki. O jeigu ateina kažkas kitas, kuris tiki kitų dalykų, jūs neturit kaip išspręsti konflikto. Viskas. Nėra kaip išspręsti, nes nėra įrankių kaip sužinot, kuris teisus, kieno teisė, ar kaip racionalizuoti, nes tai yra tikėjimas. Tas mane tiesiog, blėt, kaip aš nekenčiu fucking religijų tikėjimų ir panašiai, pačiu tikėjimo kaip koncepto. Fuck this shit.
A capital to protest mask mandates.
Oh, let's go inside! No more masks! This is the end of the New World Order.
They faced little to no consequences in Phoenix, so figured it'd be fine to do the same thing in DC.
He had seen the Proud Boys gathering up right near the Washington Monument.
Antifa! Antifa! Where's the f***ing pisser at?
Something broke out, you know, some kind of argument.
Right there anyway. Let's not fucking yell that, all right?
They started marching.
Our streets! Our streets!
And he started observing, you know, going along with that.
Washington, D.C. is our capital, not a capital full of communists, but American citizens! Free American citizens!
At about noon, Jake arrived at the Capitol.
Oh, there we go!
he sees a tower, right, that goes up. Climbs up the ladder to get a good view of the speech that was going to happen. Amongst that, he said he was in a crowd that just was like like a stream of water.
After entering the Capitol through a broken window, Jake, along with about 15 to 20 other patriots, chased Officer Goodman through the building.
And then he encountered his first set of officers face to face, okay? And there's a lot of pictures, you know? So he says they start escorting him around, and lo and behold, they're on top of the chambers. And that's where you see some of the video that came out.
Hey! Fucking hey, man. Glad to see you guys. You guys are patriots. Look at this guy. He's got covered in blood. God bless you.
I got shot in the face with some kind of plastic bullet.
Any chance I could get you guys to leave the Senate wing?
We will. I've been making sure they ain't disrespecting the place.
Okay, just want to let you guys know, this is like the sacredest place.
I saw other people rummaging through paperwork, search for intel, you know, and stuff like that. What I saw from him is asking everyone to bow their heads and pray.
Thank you, divine, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent Creator God, for blessing each and every one of us here and now.
He said a prayer. When he was asked to leave, he left.
After being escorted out of the building, Jake went outside and told people to go home.
You have to go home now. We have to have peace.
What are we going to do? We're going to obey our president. We're going to do what he asks. Respect the landmarks. Respect the Capitol.
He tells me, hey, the president told us to go home. Meet me at the car. Okay.
Jake and Chad left DC at about 6 p.m.
Kalbant apie prezidentą, kai vienas pirmųjų advokačių prisipažino ten, kai buvo prisipažino, kad ten padėjo mėginti atšaukti rinkimus, tarkim, ir, flipino ant Trumpo ir sako, kad liudys prieš Trumpą, tai potom atrodo dar 2 advokatai, ar 3, ar kiek ten, irgi iš Trumpo pradinių advokatų, irgi flipino. Jo, Trumpui, nežinau, Trumpas turi būti pasodintas at this point. Aš neįsivaizduoju, kaip įmanoma jam nebūti pasodintam, aišku, jis senas ir, bet aš neįsivaizduoju. Absurdiškai stiprus keisas dabar prieš jį yra. Nuo 91 federalinio kaltinimo, kiek žmonių iš jo aplinkos komandos jau atsisuko prieš jį ir sutiko liudyti prieš jį. Čia neįmanoma tokio stiprumo keisą. Ir by the way, taip ir turi būti. Bet koks kitas žmogus jau senai sėdėtų kalėjime, nes įrodymų yra pakankamai ir pilna, tipo. Bet tam, kad tu, tai yra buvęs prezidentas, žinai. Tai yra, nėra tai buvę Amerikoje. Ir jeigu tu nori kažką tokio padaryti, tu labai gerai turi ir labai stipriai ir visiškai nenuginčiamai. Labai absurdiškai ilgą procesą turėti, kad parodyti visiems, kad mes čia ne šiaip politinis susidorojimo, jis actually darė nusikaltimus. Nes visi su 2 IQ iš karto lygins, kad žodžio laisvės nėra, kad ten jie politiškai susidoroja ir panašiai. Tiesiog žmogus actually darė nusikaltimus. Anyway.
To embark on a long 33-hour drive back to Phoenix. The next morning, Jake's world was turned upside down.
So what'd you do on January 7th?
That was quite the story. My life transformed over less than 24 hours.
Kokią tu čia video parinkti?
Aš galiu pasakyti.
Aš tą žiūrėjau prieš tai, bet vėl dar kartą pakartosiu. Aš negražiai Dainiaus Sinkevičio video, nes jis įstraikina kanalą.
Phone number had gone public. I was getting all sorts of weird messages and calls. I had family telling me the FBI was looking for me.
My friend, somebody texted me.
Pala, o tu Inkamingai kažką labai naujo sužinojai iš to video? Nes aš atsimenu, kad visi tą žinojo, ką ten pasakojo. Bent jau aš viską girdėjęs esu. Todėl aš, kai kalbėjom apie kalėjimus ir sakiau, kad ten, kažkas pas mus sakė, kad, pas mus geriau, nes ten Vilnių uždarė, I guess. Bet, aš tada todėl ir ginčiaus, kad aš nemanau, kad labai, gal šiek tiek pagerėjo situacija, aišku, bet, pas mus kalėjimai ir visa ta sistema yra dar vis dar panetkės kastos ir viskas absurdas, bet, čia biškai iš kitos pusės, bet iš tos pačios, it's a clusterfuck.
and said, your son was photographed in the Capitol. I'm like, what? I was surprised, but I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? I have known since Jacob was a little boy that he was going to do something really big and great.
So what about January 8th?
Just more of the same, you know. I think that was when I had my interview with Alex Jones, where he screamed at me and told me I was a liar.
I love you, dude. I love you, but you gotta let me talk.
Highest level military intelligence. Tell me more about it.
Are you waiting for your turn to speak, sir? Are you listening? Or
tell me about the highest level military intelligence.
You keep interrupting me.
Because you're lying. You're full of shit. I will not suffer your two people after this.
There were people on that day that were violent. That's just all there is to it. People assaulted police officers, they broke windows, etc. The real knife's edge that we are talking about here is there were people that were violent on the outside, and then there were people that were not violent at all on the inside.
We made history, guys. People are smoking weed in here. They're smoking weed. This is our house.
How soon, like after the 6th, until you went to jail?
I was detained on January 9th after I turned myself in at the FBI office, field office in Phoenix.
What made you turn yourself in?
Well, that's just the kind of guy I am. They told me they just wanted to talk. You know, I called them when I found out that they were looking for me and wanted information on me.
Yes, are you there? Can I hear? Are you there?
You know, I basically said, I heard y'all are looking for me.
I heard through the grapevine that FBI was looking for me. You guys wanted information on me or my whereabouts.
And then we proceeded to converse. I red-pilled the FBI agent that I was on the phone with.
Yeah. Operation Paperclip, look into it. That's exactly what the media's done. Operation Mockingbird, look into it.
Conversed with him, thanked him for his service. He was a Marine. We set up an appointment, and I showed up on January 9th, and you're under arrest.
Jacob Chansley, the self-proclaimed QAnon shaman, has just been sentenced to 41 months in prison for his role in the January 6th Capitol riots. He was seen entering the Senate chamber with a spear.
What was it like having him in jail for the past couple years?
It was very hard, very painful. When you're in solitary confinement, you don't have a window, you don't have view to a TV, you don't have a radio, you don't have books. Sometimes he didn't even get out, but every 2 days for 45 minutes.
Well, it was a concrete slab with a foam pad about that thick laid on top of it, 2 sheets and a blanket, and a toilet and sink into one metal mold, buttons that you had to press where the water would only come out for, 5 to 10 seconds at a time. It was hard. It was hard, because especially when you have the
Ką besakysi su tom vienutėm, tai tikrai, nepavydėtinas situacijas, psichologinis torture visiškas.
Threat of 25-year maximum sentence hanging over your head.
You know, I had my moments of breakdown, but, I drew on God's strength. He's an instrument of God.
You find it hard to believe in God sometimes when so many things go wrong?
I don't. Sometimes when we're tested, you think, well, why are you punishing me?
Kaupimas.
And it wasn't a good day for conspiracy theorists. Jacob Chansley, the QAnon shaman, was sentenced to 41 months in prison for storming the Capitol on January 16th.
How did you feel about the way that he was portrayed in the media?
Well, they didn't portray him well at all. They portrayed him as a lunatic, somebody that wasn't very intelligent, Antifa.
Which he is. Tipo, gali būti gaila žmogaus, bet jis ir yra lunatikas, ir jis nėra visiškai intelligent. Ir aš sakyčiau, kad visi, kurie tikėjimu tokiu fanatizmu užsiema, ten jiems visiškai pakrikė smegenis, kad patikėti visom tom konspiracijom, iš vis turi būti dalbajobas. Bet vis tiek gali būti gaila ir gali jį iš blogesnės pusės negu buvo parodyti, kas nenuginčia apie Amerikos medijoje vienoje ir kitoje parodė. Tai čia gali būti ir gaila ir visko, bet jis buvo lunatikas ir yra lunatikas, tipo, what the fuck.
A terrorist, that kind of stuff. He was none of the above.
There's a lot of talk on the internet that I'm a CIA asset or a plant from the feds.
The one with the bullhorns, he's not a Trump supporter. I don't care what his resume says.
That
I was a failed actor or that I gave myself the name, the QAnon shaman. None of those things are true. Schizophrenic, bipolar, depressed, delusional, none of that's true either. But it made for good cover for the media, so they ran with it. And then there's the whole thing with the white supremacy, you know, racism.
I like it when white supremacists face consequences. Now, before being
I have gay friends, I have straight friends, I have transsexual friends, I have black friends, white friends, Mexican friends, Asian friends, you know, I don't discriminate. Good people are good people.
Despite claiming to have a transracial, partially gay core friend group, Jake later admitted to me that Chadwick was the only one of his friends who called him when he was locked up. The others publicly denounced him, or silently disappeared from his life, leaving their old buddy behind to walk his new path alone.
A lot of people turned their back on him when he needed them to be there for him. Even some of his very, very long time friends, like his own people are starting to say these lies. He said, you would be surprised who you lose, who you would almost guarantee would be there for you when it matters.
I think what it comes down to is that a lot of people are scared because they don't want the government or the woke mob coming after them.
It's hard to stand against the majority of what the narrative is, because then you get put into that small little outcast. A lot of people can't get picked on. They can't deal with that, you know? I gave him a promise. I said, Jake, I don't care what I see in the news, what I hear about you, what they say about you. I know who you are, and I will not stop making sure the world knows that. I got a lot of hate. My channels and stuff, boom, halted. It was a lonely battle.
And so I don't blame them. I forgive them. I'm not worried about it. You know, where God closes one door, God opens another.
You probably get a lot of fan mail though, right?
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of fan mail, mostly from older women, though. You know, it's not like, you know, this is really funny. I get
a
lot of fan mail, but I only got like 1 or 2 from like hot chicks, bro. And the guys in prison are like, Chansley, my grandma's into politics. Hot chicks aren't into politics, you know? Now, I don't know, I've seen some hot chicks at the Trump rallies, but, you know, yeah, I had to admit, though, that would make sense. That's why I get all these letters from old ladies. Oh, like, you know, 50s, 60s, 70s, you know, my grandson should be more like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so we're talking a little bit past what would be traditionally known as MILF range.
Oh, yeah, well past. You know, I like older women. You know, I like MILFs, but, you know, definitely not going the 60-plus range.
Has anything really unfair ever happened to you?
Yeah, dude, I got picked on all the time in school. My dad was an alcoholic and abusive on many occasions for no good reason. Unfair. Dealing with kids in the group home where I was working. The manager was not giving me the backup that I needed. The kids were breaking the house rules, and when I would do things like take away their phone or their video games because they showed up 5 hours late from their pass, all they'd have to do is call the house group home owner and complain, and then he'd undercut my authority and give the kids back the stuff that I took away. My thing is I don't see myself as a victim in any of this, so I don't dwell on the things that are unfair in life. If you think that life is going to be fair, then you're deceiving yourself and believing the illusion that life should be easy.
Is there any regret on your end about being there?
Well, here's the thing about regret. It's a very heavy burden, and you cannot move forward if you're holding on to regret.
You guys a fan of Jordan Peterson? I love Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson once said something like, if you were going to break a rule, you have to be willing to deal with the consequences. I was going down to the Capitol on my own in my horns and face paint long before 2020. Will I continue to do that? Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, yeah. You still, like, believe in QAnon stuff?
Well, it's important to differentiate between the Q drops, which there are thousands of them, and the QAnon community.
What's the current state of QAnon?
The current state of QAnon is, I would say, disheveled and confused. Right?
In shambles, grynai.
This was like this.
Įdomu, kaip Varlinas laikos. Jisai teigia, ten QAnon labai patiko jam.
Mind control psyop, essentially.
Niekas neišsipildė, ką jie sakė, kad išsipildys. Niekas. Vis dar kartoja, kad tuoj kažkas bus. jau tuoj, oi bus, ruoškitės, oi bus jau, oi jau tuoj bus. Kaip niekas nevyksta, taip niekas ir nevyksta, taip niekas ir nevyksta. Viskas, ką sako, niekas niekad neišsipildo. Kad Trumpas bus vėl prezidentas, ten nieks neišsipildo, tiesiog nieks neišsipildo. Todėl tik keičiasi, kas bus su kiekviena nauja politinė krizė, ar globalė krizė, ar ten geopolitinė krizė, vis kažkas naujo tuoj atsitiks, čia viskas planas, nieks taip ir neatsitinka. Ir tada kaip vėgėlė ir panašiai, po metų dviejų perkuria, ką jie sakė, kuo jie tikėjo, ką jie nuspėjo. Dauguma jų sako, va, aš buvau teisus ir viską nuspėjau, kai nieko neatspėjo, nes tu dabar viską iškreipiai, ką tu teigėjai ir apie ką tu kalbėjai. Ta dabar galim su COVID antivakseriais visokiais matyti, kur visi sakė, kad po mėnesio mirsit, po 3 mėnesių, po 2 metų mirsit, ten vis keitės laikas, nieks nemirė, dabar visi jie jau kalba apie galimybių pasai buvo neteisėti, neidealus ir visiškai pakeitė savo naratyvą, nes nieks neišsipildo, ką jie sapalioja, niekad, ever. Tiesiog.
A psyop.
It's like a bunch of psychology tricks to make you research, right? It's not necessarily like a literally true. It's like a lot of it is allegory, a lot of it is disinformation, right?
But here's the thing I want you to understand. The occult. Are you familiar with the occult? So this idea of baby...
Let's go.
It goes way, way, way back into antiquity. Ancient Greece, ancient Rome, ancient Babylon.
Oh, hey there. My name's Andrew Callahan, creator of Channel 5 and director of This Place Rules on HBO Max. If you enjoyed that documentary, Q Shaman Comes Home, I have great news. You only saw about half of it. The complete documentary, as well as additional videos like a 45-minute uncut, unedited interview with QAnon Shaman, are available exclusively on our Patreon. www.patreon.com/channel5. It's only about $5 a month, and it gives you access to a giant catalog of exclusive, unreleased, never before seen, not safe for work, OG to new school Channel 5 content. I have more great news. Every single Sunday at 5:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for the next 55 weeks, we're going to be dropping a new video here on YouTube.
Ok, šiek tiek, jo, geras video, man patiko. Jo video visą laiką entertainingas fuck, bet jo, man labai labai gaila tų žmonių visų, kur įtikė visiškais absurdais, kur ten... Jie realiai, aš nežinau, kaip ir, man jų gaila tiesiog, aš projekcija, aš negalėčiau pakęsti, aš negalėčiau įsivaizduoti, jeigu aš toks būčiau Jesus. Jeigu tavo vertybės, tavo, kaip čia, pasaulyje žiūrė, viskas formuojama tikėjimo tiesiog. Be jokio įrodymų, be jokio pagrindų, tiesiog tikėjimo. O, dievai, tu gali to žmonės privers, ką nori daryti. Kaip ten tas posakis? If you can make someone believe absurdities, you can make them commit atrocities. Jo, šitaip. Anyone who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. Tas visą laiką, sakau, jeigu tau viskas paremta tikėjimu, kaip spręsi konfliktą? Per smurtą, per absurdus tos, per atrocities tos. Gerai.
Koks vakaras ilgas, kaip širdim man gelia. Nuskink man jazminą.